Hi, Ben.
Hi, Mandy.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Welcome to Little Shorts with Mandy.
Thanks for having me.
For sure, for sure. So, Ben, I know that you have your band Van Arlo, right? And you originally started as kind of like a folk duo, though. Is that true? Can you tell me about how you evolved to where you are now from that starting place?
Yeah, it kind of happened sort of naturally. I years ago I was in another band that I like a hard rock alternative band for a long time, and we toured around and we put out several albums, and sort of life took its course, and you get married, you have kids, and so I took a break from music for a while, and then kind of restarted with a good friend of mine, Jesse, who him and I went to college together. We'd always had a musical sort of kinship, and we get together. And we weren't trying to do anything crazy. We just wanted to play music, so we started. We learned some covers, and we started putting together some songs so we can go play in some bars and restaurants, which we still do. Um, but that sort of ignited the passion I have for writing and performing original music, and
Right.
I've kind of since run with it a little bit more.
Yeah. And do you think, like, is this the genre that's most natural to you? Is this where you want to be? Like, I'm assuming since you evolved here, this is your comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's definitely it's something that I've gravitated towards. Even in my younger days, I've always had an acoustic guitar, and I've always found it just easy to. I always have one sitting around in like every room of the house, and I just pick it up when it strikes me. So I've always gravitated towards that, and I think after doing the whole hard rock thing and being buried in distortion and stuff all the time, I've kind of come into my own a little bit in in that regard, and finding it's working for me.
Right. Who were some of your musical influences then leading up to going out on your own?
I have a lot of influences, I think, for some of the things that kind of inspired what Van Arlo is and is becoming. Artists like Zach Bryan and City and Color are two that come, Zach Bryan for the storytelling and City and Color for the emotion. I think those are two that I really try to draw from.
Mhm. And those are 2 names that you get actually compared to a lot, right? So, how do you feel about that? And maybe a little bit about, what's similar, but what sets you apart and gives you the sound all your own?
Yeah. I'll take any, pretty much any comparison. Definitely, I'll take those two. Those happen to be ones that I like, so that works for me. I'm always trying to work on the craft of songwriting, and I really appreciate how Zach Bryan writes his lyrics. I think they're his very sort of how he unfolds a story, just and draws you in. I love that. City and Color is a band that I've really loved for a long time, and it kind of evolved similarly in the sense that he started as a solo sort of singer songwriter, which he still plays out solo, but and then he's kind of formulated this whole band around what he does, and that's kind of what I'm doing. What sets Van Arlo apart is it, we're towing the line between sometimes rock, sometimes country, but then with the how I'm working in like a string section within all this is kind of what makes it set apart from some other people are doing. And it's really something. It's not that I'm trying to be different. It's just it's something that's uh, I just love that sound, the sort of
Yeah.
cinematic, orchestral. I think that just brings so much emotion to music.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And that kind of brings me to my next question is about your album that you have out right now, The Weight of Watching. Can you tell us a bit about that and how maybe the tracks tie in together? What's the overall vibe that this album gives?
Yeah, the weight of waiting is kind of it's kind of a culmination of, I'm not getting any younger, and music is still something that's important to me. And it's sort of like the heaviness of holding on to something that that you want to do, but maybe for whatever reason you're making excuses for yourself not to do it. I'm too busy, I don't have the time, whatever it is. And so for me personally, that was these songs. Like I'd been working on them for a while, and I had this idea in my head that I wanted to sort of bring them out in a certain way. And so I felt like if I had not pursued that, or if I had not, you know, uh, really tried to put it together how I was hearing it, that it would just drag me down into a spiral that I
Right.
don't want to go into. It's so much better having to make it and release it, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. And, how much do you feel like your life experience as you've gotten older has helped to refine your craft?
It's definitely brought perspective that I wouldn't have had 15 years ago, and I think that's part of, the music business is never an easy thing, but it's part of what's making it better nowadays. I think in the sense that, it's not as much about how young you are anymore. And I think there are people out there that gravitate towards people who have some life experiences that come through in their music. And hopefully I'm one of them. But
Right. Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, we've got a whole generation, my generation of people of rock fans, of music fans who, we like the old stuff, but we're also looking for new stuff that's kind of in the same genre or the same sound that we like, right? And so I think you've got a pretty big audience in that respect, right?
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. I'm always trying to get better. It's more out of personal curiosity than trying to tour the world and be a Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah.
I think it comes from a good place.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I think that audiences also appreciate that when you bring an aspect of authenticity to your music and to
That's
your
the buzzword now,
performances,
right?
right? Yeah, yeah, that's right. Uh, can you play a little bit of something from your new album for us?
Yeah, sure, sure. So I'll play a little bit of the first song on the Weight of Waiting. It's called "Can't Go Home." I'll just move my camera here a little bit.
So this is Can't Go Home, you said?
Yeah, it's the first
Okay.
track, but it was also one of the first ones that I wrote for the album. So
All right.
those who say the road to truth is a cul-de-sac. Fueled on truth you thought was new, wanted to circle back to the road on which you drove with a different view, the other side of the road. So we go, can't go home, you're all alone. This ride, so we go, can't go home, so don't hold back this time.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. That was
Thank
great.
you.
I, I think I could hear the story that you were telling earlier about sounds to me like maybe the song's about, like you were saying, like now's the time, you gotta take some chances. You can't always go back to that familiarity. I don't know if I'm interpreting that right, but I can totally feel
Yeah.
that vibe for sure. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
Thank you for
that's
sharing that
that's
with
it.
us.
You hit it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. And so, what is next for you and Van Arlo?
So I've been really busy lately. Last night I just played I just did a VIP lounge show for the Leon Bridges show that came through Blossom in Cuyahoga Falls. Um, this Friday I got a gig here locally in Medina, which is where I'm from. At the end of the month, I got this really cool show. I'm actually headlining. It's put on by the Akron Civic Theater, and it's at a intimate sort of venue that they have next to it called Wild Oscars. And I'm going to be playing acoustic solo by myself, but I have the quartet that played on all those tracks that you heard going to be backing me. So it's going to be a real
Cool.
sort of special, close, intimate show. I have a couple other friends that are opening up, Shelby Olive and Nate Vale, who are around here locally. So I'm real excited about that one.
Yeah, there's something
And I
about
got
those intimate performances, right? That seem just, even though they're smaller, they seem almost more exciting in a way.
yeah, it can be more nerve wracking, at least for me, because
Really.
it's
Yeah.
everything is that it's all out there. You ain't hiding anything. So that's
No.
part of the, yeah, the excitement of it too, I
And you
guess.
can see
The
all of
glutton.
the faces watching you too, right? Whereas I guess a big
Yeah,
crowd is more like they're blacked out by the lights and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. So
yeah,
where
with the
can
big
we
lights and
find
sometimes.
yeah, exactly. Where can we find more of your music? Can we follow you on socials? Are you streaming on the streaming platforms? Give us your stuff.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, you can get to everything from my website, vanarlo.com. I have all links to my socials, all the streaming stuff. I have, all my show dates and merch and everything you can get from my website. You can find me on Instagram, van underscore Arlo, on Facebook, TikTok. On Spotify, I'm on Apple Music, Amazon Music, pretty much anywhere you can stream stuff. You
Okay.
can find my
Yeah.
music there.
Yeah. Cool. And I'll
I
link
got
all
a
of your stuff below.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I
For sure.
just I wanted to mention too. I got a show coming up. Well, a couple months away, but I'm preparing for it already. In January, coming up here, where I'm playing with the full band, string
Nice.
quartet, the whole works, and we're getting open for the Verve Pipe coming in
No
to
way.
Wadsworth at a new
Oh,
venue there.
okay.
So I'm really
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
about that.
That's cool. We just talked to Brian a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, I get to meet him.
He seems like a super, super nice guy, funny, smart, all the bit. So I think you'll really like him. And yeah, well, that's exciting. And I wish you all the best. And again, thank you so much for joining me today, Ben. Check out Ben Arlo. I'll link all of their profiles, websites, all that stuff in the description. Make sure that you give them a follow and stream some of their music while you're at it. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Mandy.